shit up, then I leave. Fuck this shit up, then I leave. Fuck this shit up, fuck this shit up. I just fuck this shit up, then I leave. Fuck this shit up, then I leave.
You already know what it is. Crush Calhoun, Roselle USA representative. Checking in with Checkmate Magazine. What?
Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. We're here with a very special guest, Mr. Roselle USA, Crutch Calhoun.
What's up, my boy?
Thank you for sitting down with me.
Definitely, likewise, man. I appreciate it.
So tell us where we at. Tell us where you from, what you represent.
Roselle USA, Roselle, New Jersey, Jersey all day. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much that. You know what I mean?
Okay. So right now, how many albums you in? How many albums slash mixtapes?
Well, it's like mixtape projects on like 6, 7, like real joints. Like I like to separate them. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I like mixtapes and then more or less projects. You feel me? Like I put out the other side that was on iTunes. That was like a project, more or less like album, but I don't want to like it's like saying street album. You feel what I'm saying? Something like that. So I say more or less projects. When I say mixtapes, it's like I do with my boy DJ Noso, like Roselle USA too, like mixing, scratching on there. Yeah, you feel me? So between like real projects, probably like 4 real projects that I got. You know what I'm saying? But like 5 mixtapes, 4 or 5 mixtapes. I make a lot of music, so.
Tell us, as far as Roselle USA, how did that start? And when did it start? And tell us a little bit about Roselle USA.
Word. That started after, it was something that happened around Roselle, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people was hurt by it, you know what I'm saying? Somebody passed away, you know what I'm saying? Just put the whole time together, you feel me? And like happened to my brother or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was just Roselle USA, like it felt like we always felt like we always stood together, you feel what I'm saying? No matter where you was from, you come to Roselle, you know you from Roselle, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a little island, like you feel me? 3 Mile Town, everybody know each other. Everybody the same thing, everybody believe in the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So just like it just started like Roselle USA, you know what I'm saying? Like us overall is the USA stand for us, whatever.
When did you first start rapping?
Like start rapping, I was like when I first actually like wrote, tried to put a little whack ass rap together. I was like 12, man. Like you feel me? And I was just like loving music. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with music. From basketball at the time was my true thing.
How'd you get the name Crutch? Crutch Calhoun.
From basketball. You know what I'm saying? I was playing basketball, you know. Just move on somebody, you feel me? Broke his ankle. Call me Crutch. You know, Crutch. So, you know, the N1 shit was back then, so shoot that had a little nickname, you know what I'm saying? But either way, like, so I'm saying, like, even with that, like, I mean, that's real life for me, you feel me? So, like, I earned that too, like, everything I earned, you feel me?
Tell us a little bit about your clothing line, Zooted.
No, that's not my clothing line.
Not your clothing.
No, that's not. Nah. Actually, my boy is in the building. It's his clothing line, you know what I'm saying? Like, he put it all together and just, yo, bro, I fuck with you, fuck with this, like, yeah.
What does Zooted stand for? Like, what does it mean?
I mean, you gotta, I know what it means for me, you feel me? It's gonna mean something for everybody.
I think I know what it means.
Y'all might have to talk about that, you feel me?
Alright, the song with Dave East, how'd that come about? The song's called Mayday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, that's my homie, like, you feel me? Like, I fuck with him, like, we did a show. Like, we knew each other, we had close ties with, affiliations, like, you feel me, that kept us, that got us sight, you feel what I'm saying? So, before we did the show, like, I already knew his people, he knew my people, and it was like, yeah, boom, like, cuz rap, well, y'all rap too, like, then we did the show, and that was that. Just fuck with him, you feel me? So I got in the studio with him in New York, just linked up, came through, dropped it, vibed it, really.
Yeah. How about the Blue Light District? Talk to us about that.
Oh, 325
album.
325, the project, the album, I'm gonna plug that. Yeah.
Got you busy right now.
That's the album, man. This one I could call the album because I know what it is, you feel me? I know the worth of it, you feel me? Not saying that anything before this was like, had less worth, but it was like, I know what it took to get to this shit, like, you feel me? So I could definitely call this that, like, you know what I mean? So, shit crazy, man. It's my world, Blue Light District, like, it's not Roselle USA, it's just my world. That's what I call it, like, the district, like, you feel me? Like, blue, like that just represents it represents a lot of shit in my life.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like even from like where I'm from, my hood, like you feel me? Just the meaning of blue. Blue means like loyalty, royalty. You feel me? Follow your dreams. Like you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like I believe in certain shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. Like everything blue.
So you feeling like Rocky right now? Like how you taking in everything that's happening right now? I know it's happening fast for you.
Nah, I mean I don't know. I'm growing. I'm still me. It's regular. Like it's not. It's. I saw it. Like you feel me? Like this is. If I shouldn't be doing it if I ain't. You feel what I'm saying? I'm ready.
Yeah.
This is regular. Like it's normal for me.
So you was ready, like
Yeah, I'm good. Like I like music. I make music. That's what I'm here to do. Feel me? So I just found my shit. Some people don't. I just found it.
I know a lot of people want to know. I personally want to know. I think I know a little bit because I got a glimpse a little while ago to see you do your thing in the studio. You came in. I was sitting here. I'm not gonna spread light on who I was sitting here with, but I was sitting here and you walked in there. I was like, who's this guy? And you went in there and just boom, 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 laid it down. I'm like, nah, this dude can't write. So that's the question, me and the fans have right now. Do you write your music, or do you hold it, like they like to say?
I don't know. I do it my way. Like you feel me? Like in certain days I do write. Like I go through certain shit. Like I'm not always in the studio. Like I'm actually outside living. You feel me? So I might get a thought. I might jot it down. I might come in here and be like, you know what? I can't even. There's so much shit going on. I gotta just go in there and just do it. Get away from everything that's going on in here. Like,
what's your preparation for when you walk in the studio? How do you get your mindset to just go in there and kill them bars?
I don't know, man. I just do it. Like I can't. I still to this day don't know. Like I just walk in here and we vibe. Just vibe. If it go, it go. Most times it go. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So future collaborations. Who do you see yourself working with in the future?
Anybody who's making good music, like you feel me? Make good music, anybody.
Coming up, who's some of the artists you looked up to and said, when I get on, I'm gonna work with him?
No, like I had favorite artists, but I mean, other than the usuals like Jay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. I just always admired people, their form of art, like you feel me? So it's like it never was like damn. I just like what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. If we get there, we cross them paths. We cross them paths. I'm about time right to get right. So I really do. It's just like I don't know. Like, ain't really nobody. It's like.
Who did you listen to coming up? Like, I had a main artist. Like, I was Jadakiss, Lock, Styles P. Who did Crutch listen to when he's like, I'm ready to do this rap thing? You know what I'm saying? Who were you listening to at that time? Who was in your headphones? Your CD player? Remember we had them big ass.
Yeah, them fucking like 18 Ransom. Like, you feel me?
Jersey.
Yeah, Stack Bundles. Fab. Everybody from around that era, like, you feel me? Dipset, like, they was heavy. You feel me? Like, it was just, I don't know, even bad, like, the Planet Battle rappers, like, the Punchline, like, Shell, J Hood, like, that type of shit. It was like that.
I got a couple questions, 2 questions I picked off social media that I'm about to ask you. One I think I asked you a little bit about, but I had some questions from some people, and I promised I was gonna do it, so I definitely got to do it. At Joey Star wanted to know about the Zooted clothing line. I think he answered that already, and what it stood for, what Zooted meant, but we answered that already. So Joey Star, you got your answer.
ZootedClothing.com.
And you familiar with the next person? At Drizzy Dre wanted to know how much impact does Roselle USA have on your music? Shout out to Drizzy.
I mean, it has a big impact. It's my story, like that's my story. A lot of my story, so I'm giving y'all. I'm giving y'all my story. I'm giving y'all me. I'm giving y'all what I've seen. So I had a lot to do with that. I mean, it's Roselle USA. It's my brand.
Yeah.
It's not Crutch Calhoun. It is Crutch Calhoun, but it's not just straight Crutch Calhoun. Like you feel me?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite records because I love Whippin'. That's my joint. When you dropped that, I was like, wow. Whippin' is my joint, but it's crazy because that is one of my favorite joints, but it's not the favorite. My favorite joint is I think it's called Spiritual. Oh man, you went off. One of my favorite joints. What made you, to me, was a different record than what all these other artists was trying to do, like club bangers and, you know, things of the such, something to get them popping. But you dropped Spiritual, and I was like, wow, that's different. Like, what mindset you was when you was writing that record and made you want to put that record out?
It was just one of them days, man. Like, you feel me? Like every day I come in, I do different shit. Like, just one of them days, like just like you saying, I'm tired of hearing the same shit already.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I mean, just go off, but you feel me? Like, it's not something not in the norm right now. You feel me? And then followed up on my boy Renee Job. You feel me? You direct most of my shit, crazy visuals, add to it. That's basically how that came from.
What was your first record you heard played on the radio?
Know That.
Know That? And what DJ was spinning that? Remember?
DJ First Choice and Joe Bond. Yeah, I'm doing what?
And the second joint that you had played on the radio?
Whipping.
Whipping. You spent that.
DJ First Choice and Joe Bond.
And I noticed DJ Self just had you on the radio. What record did he play?
He played something off my Blue Light District. It was dropped in 325. Called Then I Leave. Produced by man Smooth and shit, the Addicts. Like, man, it's a production team. He played that. He dropped that. I met him in the club. Like, what was that? The night before? I think the night before. You know, like Starlets and whatnot. Show mad love. Like, yeah, bro, I've been hearing about you. So, yo, we gonna rock.
I know a lot of female fans out there. I got a lot of DMs. It was like, ask Crutch if he's single. So you already know that question was coming. Ladies want to know if you're single, man.
Yo, man, I make good music. That's all I do.
Ain't gonna touch it.
I do nothing else. Look, a good artist.
Ladies, you're not gonna know that right now, but you know, meet him in person and let you know. Definitely, man, you're making good music. I follow your music. I like what you're doing. You're definitely putting on for Jersey, Roselle USA. I appreciate you having this interview with me, sitting down with me, man. Roselle USA, you have any shout outs, anybody you want to reach out to?
Roselle USA.
Yeah. Crutch Calhoun, everybody. The man himself. The mastermind.
What?
What?
You already know.
Thanks,
Appreciate you, bro.
Checkmate Magazine. Crutch Calhoun. Whoop. Next.
Fuck this shit up, then I leave. Fuck this shit up, then I leave. Fuck this shit up, fuck this shit up. I just fuck this shit up, then I leave.
Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. We're here with special guest, Bodies by Mac.
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing, man? Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So tell the people where you from, where you located.
From Lisbon, New Jersey. Grew up right here, hometown kid. Got like a background in judo, football, basketball, track, and I kind of always been in the fitness game, and that's what brought me here. And now I run a boot camp, a button gut boot camp for women, and I also do personal training as well.
So how long ago did you start with the whole fitness thing, the personal training?
Well, I started my boot camp probably about 3 years ago. Basically, I had a friend of mine had a child, and she couldn't lose like the after baby weight, you know what I mean? And so she just like, yo, you should train me. So I started training her. She started seeing the results, and then it started like a snowball effect. Like people from a job, was like, yo, what you been doing? You know what I mean? And it just went from there.
What are some of the frequent questions you get from clients? Some of the most asked questions females or males ask you.
I think the number one question is, do waist trainers work?
Oh, okay.
And that's one of those things where They work. Waist trainers do work. Waist trainers work. They work. But the thing is, you have to put in work as well. You can't just wear it to work or wear it like while you're going shopping or things like that. Like you have to, waist trainers actually help lose body fat. Not like the super corset ones that you see like a lot of the girls wear to the club. The actual ones with like the zipper, where it has like that rubbery material that makes you sweat a little more. So that just cuts down inches. You lose the body fat from that. So you need to do that with like running on the treadmill, doing some ab work, jump rope, jumping jacks, and you'll sweat a lot more and you'll lose a couple inches.
Can waist trainers be dangerous?
Definitely. Especially like the corset ones where it's like super duper tight, where it's like crushing your intestines. And you know when it's too tight, when you barely can breathe and stuff like that. So those are dangerous, very dangerous actually.
Another question I know people want to know out there: if they just do cardio, does that work? Does that help them lose weight? Or, do they have to do other things with it to help them lose weight quick?
Well, I think a lot of different people have different methodologies of like the way they like to do things. Me per se, if you have someone that's on the bigger side, if they do cardio, if they only do cardio, they'll lose a lot of the body fat, but the skin and everything else is still hanging.
Okay.
So we want to do cardio and toning to tighten that up as well. Now, if you got somebody that just has like a few extra pounds to, lose or whatever, and they can just jump on a treadmill with a sweatsuit and kind of sweat it out, that's cool. But for people that's like on the heavier side, you want to kind of do a little bit of cardio and a lot of toning as well. So when it does fall, it's nice and tight. It doesn't sag or anything.
Is dieting while training important?
Oh, dieting is like it's more important than training. It's like a 60-40 split. 60% diet, 40% work. Okay. You have to diet. More important than dieting is just like the times that you eat. So I would basically say like a lot of people, depending on your work schedule, how your day runs, a lot of people you want to eat like your heaviest meals earlier in the day while your body's still burning, while you still got to go get the kids, you got to go do this, you got to go do that. So it makes it a little easier for you.
I have a personal problem myself. Sometimes when I'm working out, some people say it's your breathing or you didn't eat, but I get dizzy sometimes, especially when I'm in there going hard.
Okay, so a lot of times with that, too much sugar, not enough water. So like your hemoglobin, it enlarges, and that causes like dizziness, fatigue, things like that. So you gotta really watch your water intake. A lot of people like the juices, the coffee. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah, definitely a coffee drinker.
Light and sweet?
Yeah, definitely.
The sugar milk. That's what it is. That's sugar milk. You know what I mean? What you want to do is to modify that. You would order your coffee black. You order your coffee black and you add your own sugar because you're mindful. Yeah. The woman at Dunkin' Donuts doesn't care about you. So when you say light and sweet, she just pushes the button. Yeah. Ton of sugar comes out. When you're done with that, you see about like this much sugar left in the bottom. How much is in you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's basically that.
What are some quick tips on adjusting your diet? Like, what are some ways they can help, eat better and
Okay. Well, a little tip I learned was shopping on the outsides of the supermarket. Produce, frozen. They're always on the outsides. Everything in the middle, 9 out of 10 is garbage. It's canned stuff, a lot of stuff filled with preservatives. They're terrible for you. Can't be nothing good about corn that sits in a can that has a shelf life of 5 to 6 years. So we don't want to do that. We want to kind of, like I said, shop on the outsides of the supermarket, produce and frozen. So like those are the things that are a lot better for you. Plenty of water to where because water is the easiest thing to burn off. You can have a whole bunch of water and still kind of feel full. Yeah. Versus like a whole bunch of juice and stuff like that, and sugar is like sand in the system. It takes longer to burn off. Okay. So with the water, we can jump on a treadmill, we can do our cardio, and you're burning that water weight right off. And you'll definitely, beat the scale.
I heard some things about dairy as far as nails, but in general too, like, they said too much dairy products isn't really good for you.
It depends, man. We're not we're not like cars. You know, like if I stop at the red light and you stop at the red light and we both just we both know it's our brakes. No matter what car you have, no matter what car I have. But your blood type is different, my blood type is different, my background in my family has different problems, your background in your family. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint. Gary may be great for someone else and terrible for you. I have some clients that are lactose intolerant, and we're doing the sort of thing, and I have clients that drink like a quart of milk a day. So
you basically customize these workouts
yes.
for each one of your clients?
Yes, we basically do like a full body breakdown where we sit with the client, first, we talk about their imperfections, what they want to change about themselves, what's the strengths, what the weaknesses, we check the body fat, things like that, and then I try to design something around that to where, you know, it's still fun and it still work.
So I had a good question about the guys that, you know, I used to be one of them, just go in the gym, work on upper body, arms, biceps, triceps, chest, and don't touch the legs at all. And just to say, guys, it looks silly. When you're walking around like this and you got spaghetti noodles on the other half of you, like, it looks silly. So just, you know, tell them the importance of working out everything.
Well, legs are the foundation. You know, you've never seen a tree that's like big up top and little at the bottom. Like the foundation is key. And honestly, what a lot of people don't know, the more you squat, the more you leg press, the stronger you get. Like as far as your benching increases. Like I started out where I was like plateauing at 225, and I was like pretty small myself. And I'm plateauing at 225, and then the second I started implementing like more squats, more lunges, those numbers went up, you know, to where substantial amount to where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable here now. And then, like I said, you feel that much better when you do legs. Legs are tough, so that's why people kind of stay away from it. Definitely.
Do you see yourself getting more male clientele or female clientele?
I want to say like during the like as it's getting closer to summer, definitely more females due to like the booking vacations and they want to be in bikinis and stuff like that, and a lot of them are doing like preps for like weddings and things of that nature. So yeah, more female clients. I guess some of the guys they're hard headed, so they just oh I know what I'm doing, And
yeah, I'm one of them, hard headed. I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. As far as the females, the male or female clients, which one reaches, you know, wants the results faster, get impatient, I should say?
Well, as far as getting impatient, that's the women. The women get impatient. They want overnight results.
They want to see it.
Right away. Instantly. But the thing is, the beauty of that, a lot of different females, some of them have never done like anything like any type of collegiate sports or anything like that. So the second they start doing things, they do tend to drop weight a little faster because you're sending your body a shock. Your body's never been through this type of pain or type of regimen where you're sweating like this and you're doing all the strength training. You'll definitely like see results instantly.
Do you just do indoor workouts or do you do outdoor as well?
No, I actually started outdoors. I started my boot camp, you know, with the girl I was telling you about earlier, and we basically I designed the button gut class because that was basically most of the target areas for most of the women. They all said like they had fat arms, they wanted to flatten their stomach, tone their butt region, you know. So it was kind of like let's create a class like that, and I actually started like right in Wamiko Park, like right by the water and where the boats are and everything, right there.
Yeah. What's some advice you have for the females out there that think surgery is the answer?
No. I mean,
I've seen so many go so wrong. Like
yeah, and I think that should be enough. I mean, you know, we don't want to die.
Yeah.
You don't want to die from butt implants. You don't want to, you know, die on the table. Like we lost people who do this, and then we don't. And this is the first generation of this, so we don't know what's to come 20 years from now. like this can be crazy. We have no idea. Like, I mean, this is the first generation of the fake butts and stuff like that. I mean, people been getting, you know, breast done, but that's like a silicone thing. But like with fat transfers and stuff, I don't agree with it. You know? So,
I mean, also too is I see this happen a lot. They'll go to Dominican Republic, you know, they get the fat sucked out their stomach, put into their butt. We understand the butt thing. We get it. It's just that 6 months down the road, they're pregnant.
yeah, and that's another another problem. That's another problem because we don't. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so but it can't be healthy. It can't be.
I imagine.
It can't be. Yeah.
What are some of the ways people could get in touch with you? You know, as far as social networks and
Okay, that's easy.
You know, just to get in touch with you if they want to join your class and get healthy.
Well, I run a button gut boot camp at right here, NJ Fitness. That's 10-12 Center Street in Elizabeth, New Jersey. We run that class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 6 p.m. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. And you can contact me on Instagram or at Bodies by Mac. That's BODIESBYMACK, the number 1. Feel free to hit me in my DM, ask me any questions on rates and prices for one-on-one training. If you're not ready for like a group training thing, a lot of people, they don't want to like be with the, you know, a group. They rather get the one-on-one attention, you know, for various reasons.
That would be me.
For various reasons, and you know, I'm going to accommodate you guys with that as well.
Cool. But how often should people work out?
I want to say like three or four times a week. You know what I mean? If you can get in there, and it doesn't take a long time. You don't have to be one of those people like, oh, I was in the gym for 3 hours. Nah, 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. Get your cardio in. Do a little bit of toning. You out the door. You don't have to like waste a lot of time.
That sounds like my leg day. It'd be like 45 minutes. Cause I get in there, boom, boom, and I'm out. But when I'm on arms,
that's everybody
in the mirror, like, yeah.
Nah, definitely.
Definitely thank you for sitting down with me. It was very informative. I'm sure everybody got answers to a lot of their questions. So this is Bodies by Mac. Check them out on social networks, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. This is Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. Thank you for checking in.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it.
Higher Intel music, let's go. Y'all know I had to switch up the vibes, right? Check this out. I never felt so in love, but Lord, you're amazing.
Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. We're here with a very special guest today for our Conscious column, Mr. Joseph, or should I say Reverend Joseph Adair. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
So, tell us the name of your church, where it's located, and where we are today.
Well, my church is, the name of my church is the Second Macedonia Baptist Church. Our theme name is the Change Church, because we open up our doors for, you know, all kind of people. We're not like really over religious so far as needing cookie cutter people to be a part of our church. We have members there from all walks of life, all creeds, all colors. And we just open up the door and lay out the welcome mat for anybody that wants to come over and just hear the word, you know, be inspired. We have good music, good worship, that type of thing. And we're in City Hall of Elizabeth right now, where I've worked for the past 20 years here as the relocation officer.
Relocation officer.
Yes.
Okay. What's some of the things the relocation officer does? Like, what are some of the jobs?
The main thing I deal with is fires and code enforcement. Whenever someone has a fire in Elizabeth, they call me. I go make sure people are okay. Put them up in a temporary, working with Red Cross, in a temporary situation until we can get them transitioned into a permanent housing situation. And it's a ministry, you know, because, you know, that's like the worst time someone might have in their entire life, losing all their belongings, you know, in that fire. and we try to make sure that we just we're there and meet their needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as that, like, what are some of the more detailed things you do for the city of Elizabeth?
Well, I don't want to blow my own horn, but I do a lot for the city. You know, they don't have a job description of what I do. Because when you're a minister, and you know, God opens up doors for you to use your influence that He has given you, you have to do the spiritual thing first and foremost.
Yeah.
So I feel as though I would go higher and further beyond my call or my job description than most people. Because when I see people, I don't only see black and white, male or female, I see souls.
Yeah.
That I want to make sure that they're getting what they need.
Okay. What are some of the challenges you think that the city of Elizabeth and New Jersey face as far as a lot of the turmoil and things that violence that's been happening lately?
Well, I think whenever you have a lack of opportunity, people will get creative, unfortunately, in negative ways to try to get money, to try to get their needs met financially. And I think that's what, you know, Elizabeth doesn't have a monopoly on that, as you said. I think our world, our country, particularly New Jersey, has that problem where there's a lack of opportunity. You know, because what happens a lot of times, Earl, is that people who are successful, who climb that ladder of success, they pull it up and hide it, kind of, you know, so no one else can climb up.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have all these people down at the bottom trying to leap up and trying to come up. And, you know, it's not like it used to be. When I came, I'm 58 years old. When I came up, there were a lot of good men in the neighborhood. There were a lot of good teachers. Not to say there aren't now, but they were more proactive.
Yeah.
They were in the neighborhood. They would teach us things. The men ran the neighborhood. And you don't see that anymore. You see people who are afraid of their children. They're not engaging in their life. They're not being that positive role model. So I don't blame the kids only. I do a lot of eulogies. A lot of these young cats get shot, killed, you know. And it's unfortunate because they just started living their life. And I know for a fact that they're not making enough money to retire out there.
Yeah.
You know, they're just out there doing what they think will give them the money they need. And unfortunately, they find out sometimes before it's too late, or when it's too late, that this is not what they need to be doing.
Do you think that the lack of knowledge in religion, in God, I should say, has a lot to do with a lot of the lack of understanding of our youth today?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Of course, secular education too, but religious education now. See, a lot of people get God confused with religious people, with going to church, with shouting, falling out, dancing to the beat of the drum. I'm talking about a personal relationship with God that will just transform your brain, your mind. See, people have to change the way they think before they can do better.
Yeah.
And for me, I wasn't always a religious person. I did go to church when I was younger. But I've had experiences in my life that brought me to my knees, where I can only look up. And thank God there were people in my life that introduced me to God as I understand him. I'm a Christian. I serve Jesus Christ. I believe that He is Lord and Savior of the world. I preach the gospel, I teach the gospel, and I try to live it. I raised 9 children in the ghetto in some of the worst areas in Elizabeth. I have 16 grands now. Integral part of their life. Yeah. And the biggest thing I try to give them is my faith. That no matter what happens, if you continue to go and have faith in God, not that He's going to do it for you, that's a fantasy, but that He will strengthen you to do the things you need to do. Even walk away from negative influences.
Yeah. What are some of the tactics, or I should say techniques or advice you give to communities that want to help, that want to do things but just don't know what to do or how to start to do?
I was successful as a youth minister. I'm successful now. I have a gift for young men. I have 4 sons, natural sons. 2 are pastors. One's a pastor in Dallas, Texas. Another one is down in New Brunswick with Bishop C. Wright. And I think what we need to start doing is just listening to these kids, man. because their thought process is just, people might say weird, but it's different because they have different experiences. And you'll be surprised how much attention you can get from a kid by just listening. Listening to them. I had kids say, "You actually listen, Reverend Pastor. Actually listen to what I have to say." And you know, by listening, you show your interest, and that starts the whole conversation right there. That starts the whole thing. Because a lot of kids feel as though adults, you know, we don't have time for them. We don't really care about what they care about. And when we begin to really just listen to the kids and not try to out-talk them and not try to make them feel as though we know more than them, because this is a different thing out here. You know, when I was coming, I came up in Elizabeth. This is a different thing out here. What these kids have to deal with. Yeah, it really is.
The time and the internet, and you know, a lot of things have changed. What are some of what are most of the problems you hear, like being here at City Hall, and what are most of the complaints from the people?
Well, the biggest challenge I have is dealing with single mothers with dragging 2 kids, one in the baby stroller and another one in the stomach. That breaks my heart. And 9 times out of 10, when you ask them where the father or the fathers are, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Now that's a great case of low self-esteem as far as I'm concerned. To allow yourself or someone else to put you in a position where you're getting ready to go to a shelter or on the street with your babies, and you know diapers is real serious.
Yeah.
You know, I see diapers take these young ladies, kids, and then there are success stories too. But that's the biggest challenge I have, because what I do here, my resources really are not geared for that type of situation. But I always try to refer them to someone that can help them, or just listen and talk to them, or help them through my church.
Through your church.
Yes.
And what are some of the resources that your church offer to help people that are, you know, let's say homeless, or, you know, at a temporary home where they can't stay for too long, and, you know, some of those
The biggest resource we have is prayer. That's the first thing. Everything works off of prayer. Once we pray for them, once we got them out of the frame of thinking that they cannot do it, we get proactive. We find them jobs. If they're battered women, we get them in battered shelters. Find them jobs, relocate them away from the abuser, those type of things. Just recently, there was a young lady whose family I've known for a long time who was found beaten to death in her home. Bad case of domestic abuse. And went to her wake, and it was just devastating. And people would be surprised how many of these young women are being abused by their boyfriends or baby's daddies or whatever you want to term them, and they're not saying anything. So at our church, we deal with, you know, domestic abuse very seriously.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask you personally, you know, to share with us, you know, personal testimonies, like, you know, this conscious column was made to share the love and to share God, and, you know, to spread light on positive people doing positive things in the neighborhoods. And I know you personally, you know, have a lot of good things to say from your experiences through God. So.
Yeah, well, I haven't always been a pastor, haven't always been a preacher, haven't always been on the right side of the law. When I came up, you know, I thought I was a gangster, you know, got in a lot of trouble at a young age, started drinking very young, started getting high very young, you know, and I always tell kids you can do something in 5 seconds that'll take 15 years to get up out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So my thing is that I try to focus on giving people skills on how to choose and get connected to the right type of people, friends, if you will, associates. Because one of my issues growing up is that I always wanted to be with the so-called cool people.
Yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, most of the cool people were not really cool. They were just people who drank or did things that I thought was cool. But my testimony is that I overcame drug addiction. Got married, and I had 7 kids. My first wife was murdered here in Elizabeth. I was a widower with 7 kids at 33 years of age. Met a woman who was a very godly woman, married me when I was broke, busted, and disgusted, and widowed. And my wife Rosalind is really my inspiration. I always tell brothers, when you find a good woman, marry her, you know, because the way, you know, I'm not trying to preach to you, but God's concept of fulfilling who the man is by creating Eve,
Yeah.
the right woman, you know. And when I met her, my whole life changed because I listened to her and everything I needed to be that man of community, man of family, man of the hour, if you will. She knew how to help bring me to it.
Yeah.
You know. But my biggest testimony is that I love people, man. And I'm there for people. If you go on the streets, and they say, I hope that one thing they would say about me is that you love people.
Yeah.
I care a lot about people, you know. From writing checks to doing whatever I need to do. There was a family living in the car. We put them up in our house for several months. Katrina, we got people from Katrina and let them live with us because, you know, that's what we have to be about. We got to stop talking about it and being about it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think makes the difference in people's lives. When you really actually show them that you are caring enough to be physically doing something for them instead of doing all of this.
Yeah. We're gonna go to more broad. Like lately, I know you watch the news a lot. You know, you've seen a lot of, especially with this political, the presidency, you know, race going on, and you see a lot of other people focus on a lot of the negative things in religion, and that's why we brought the conscious column, because we wanted to promote the positive things in religion,
Right.
which is God and love. And what do you feel like? How do you feel about what's going on out there as far as how everything is they're trying so hard to divide?
Well, I think America is divided. I think people, the obvious person is Mr. Trump. I think he's playing on the fears of not a majority of Americans, but there are enough of them who are angry for the wrong reasons that will vote and make him the president because we have this thing in our nation that we have amnesia. Mm-hmm. It really bothers me. For example, I heard a young Caucasian gentleman yelling at a young African American gentleman, "Go back to Africa." You know, that offends me because I'm an American. You know what I'm saying? I'm African American, but I'm an American. And you know, if everybody went back to where they came from, only the Native Americans would be here. Yeah. So that makes me mad. You know, it's ignorance. But to get really into it, I think that politics stink.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a powerful piece of our culture here in America. But I just think that I don't like any of the choices. I don't, you know, of course I'm going to vote probably Democratic, but I'm a very conservative person. But I'll probably vote Democratic. But I just think that people need to think with their brains and not their emotions. Man.
Yeah. Because the other day, why I asked that, because the other day I heard a young lady like, oh, she told her little brother, oh, move away from that guy. He's Muslim.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, wow, like it's really getting to these kids. The
It
message
really is.
that these politicians are spreading out there, and it's like, you know, you think it would be more responsibility behind.
Let me give you an example. As a Christian, there are Christians who will bomb abortion clinics. They're not Christians as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You have people who call themselves Muslims who will bomb innocent people or suicide vests wearing radicals.
Yeah.
That's not Islam.
Yeah.
I know a whole lot of good Muslims. Muslim people helped build this country, just like black people did, just like Latino, Asian, Mexican, Caucasian, whomever. And I think that it's just hate sells.
Yeah.
And I think that what people fail to realize is that all of us really have more in common than we do apart. I think for me, growing up, I'm at an age now when I'm shifting, I'm going into retirement in a few years. But coming up, I always wanted an opportunity to work, feed my family, live in a decent, safe neighborhood, and just have a chance like anybody else. Because no man can tell me he's better than me based on his color.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
we're gonna take this time so you could definitely, talk more about your church and things that are happening there, and events that are coming up.
Well, Second Macedonia Baptist Church is at 1251 Fairmount Avenue in Elizabeth. We have a 7 o'clock service on Wednesday, and we have a 10 a.m. service on Sunday. 9 o'clock is what we call church school, Sunday school, with traditional Sunday school. My church is a church that's progressive. We worship, we praise, you get the word there, but more than that, you'll feel part of a family there. It's a family-oriented church. We have all cultures there. We have Spanish-speaking people, Caucasian people, and of course we have a lot of African-American people there, but there's not going to be any specific color in heaven, and we're trying to practice heaven here on earth. That's what we're trying to do. But if they would come at 10 o'clock on Sunday, they would experience a great service. Young, old, doesn't matter what they're into. The Bible says that you have to come as you are. It doesn't mean your clothes.
Yeah.
It means your heart.
Yeah.
You have to catch the fish before you clean it.
True.
Right?
Yep. Too, I also want to ask one question before we let you get back to work. As far as people feeling like they have to come to a church, or they have to, I would say, be part of a religion to be accepted by God. Could you enlighten us on?
Well, the Bible says that if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and Him risen from the dead, you will be saved. Saved from the judgment to come. That's going to come to mankind because of the work Christ did on the cross. We just celebrated Resurrection Sunday. I think that it's good for people to go to church because they find strength there in numbers. Can you be saved and not go to church? Of course you can. You can, in your living room, in your kitchen, you can accept Christ as your Savior. But I always encourage people to find a Bible preaching, Bible teaching church. Come under the leadership of a pastor, because I believe people need pastors. I think I have an advantage over a lot of pastors, not all pastors, but because I've overcome a lot of things. Okay? And I know how to talk to people like this, not like that, but like this. And I can identify with a lot of things people are going through. And that's what I put into practice. You need a pastor to cover you. You need people who can encourage you. You need people who can help you get jobs and help you feed your family, take care of your family until you get on your own. And that's what we're all about at Second Macedonia. Somebody did it for me, man.
Yeah.
When I was a widower, I told you earlier, 7 kids. I was working in a car wash at the time. People got with me, man. Did my girl's hair, cooked for me, helped me, found me a better job than that. And you have to give it away to keep it. That's my philosophy. That's how many single fathers there are out there. We help the single women too. But my calling is with single men, because I was a single man.
And that's where it starts for you.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if you save a man, you'll save a community.
You actually save a woman, because you save a man and you teach him the right ways. I think he'll learn how to appreciate a woman, especially a good woman that wants to be, helpful or wants to help a relationship grow.
I think if women, all colors, if they really understand who God created them to be, they would be a lot happier.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times you see women operating out of their calling, and they get angry and frustrated because that was not what God anointed them to do.
Yeah.
And they get stressed out, and then they'll go get a substitute and find out that it ain't the real thing, because you can't substitute manhood.
Yeah.
I always get in trouble at my church, Earl, because I tell the women, stop saying you've been a father and a mother to your son. Just be a good mother. You can't be a father.
Yeah.
It takes a man to be a good father.
And some of them don't want to hear that. They be like, well,
No, they get on me.
Yeah.
But I keep saying it anyway, because it's true.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, because the kids are our future, the youth is our future, and they're the ones paying attention, whether we think they are or not. If you would just take this moment to give them the best advice you could give our youth.
The best advice I can give our youth is to study hard, work hard, stay away from negative influences. You're going to live a long life. Don't think you're not going to live past 20 or past 30. You're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna be 50 years old. And when you wake up and you realize you're 50, you want some history behind you of working, of staying out of trouble, keeping your credit good. Stop trying to be a player, you know, when you ain't got no money. You know, get a job and, you know, start slow. But the most important thing is get a relationship with God and trust Him to guide you and take care of your needs.
Thank you. Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. We're here with our very special guest, Reverend Joseph Adair. And he also serves in City Hall, and thanks City Hall for having us and allowing us to use the conference room for this interview. Thank you to our Mayor, Chris Baldwidge, and Elizabeth Police Department. Thank the whole Elizabeth, and thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And we hope we can have you back again for another sit-down.
Anytime, man.
All right, thank you very much.
I try to do better.
Everybody entitled to a mistake, but you know what I mean, it's the consequences you gotta pay for that mistake, you hear me? So she has something to do with it then. It is what it is.
Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. Today, we're with the creator and director of Mayhem, Mr. Drizzy Dre himself.
What's up, man? You, man.
Glad for having you, man.
Hey, happy to be here, man.
So tell me and the fans about yourself. Where you from? What you represent?
Born and raised Elizabeth, New Jersey, you know what I mean? That's where this whole thing based out of. Mayhem out of Elizabeth, that's where I'm from. That's what I'm representing, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Where'd the idea of Mayhem come from?
The idea of Mayhem, I don't know, man. I had a few web series in the tuck for a while. You feel me? Mayhem just came one day. You know what I mean? After my friend, you know what I mean? Shot ABU out. You feel me? Put me on a Money and Violence. He was like, yo, this is his series, this and that, and this. I watched the thing. I said, hey, man, let me write one now. I'm gonna write a new one. I ain't even gonna use a old one. So, shout out to ABU, man. He the reason why Mayhem came about. You feel me?
Shout out ABU. So, what separates you from all the other web series that's on the internet today?
We us. Like Elizabeth, New Jersey, like, we us in front of the camera, like, we not acting. You feel me? Like, not saying that this is real life that we doing, nah. We're us, like, we're not acting. You feel me? Like, and I know everybody from the cast, like, personally, like, if we not family, we friends, or we grew up in the sandbox, so, you know what I mean? It's easy for us to just get around each other and just put some things together. So that's what's up with us.
So I'm gonna get into a real good questions that I know the fans want to know. I also want to know. Do you feel like there's competition out there with the other web series like Money and Violence and Respect Life?
First of all, shout out to Money and Violence, Respect Life. As far as competition, nah, I don't look at none of them as competition. You feel me? Like, our competition is Mayhem. You feel me? Like, when we come back with season 2, we just gotta do better than what we did in season 1. That's it. Like, ain't no competition to me. You feel me? If we worry about what they doing, then we gonna slip. So we ain't worried about nobody, and we don't see nobody's competition. Like, it's enough room for everybody to eat. You feel me? So we going off for that. We just trying to make season 2 better than season 1. That's all.
Did you ever think, or in the future, will there be a collaboration with any one of those web series?
Funny you asked that question. That's real funny. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the fans and all the supporters and everything. Like, I read all of the comments on YouTube, and we was getting a lot of requests for that. Like, you know what I mean? Respect Life, Mayhem, like, y'all should do a collab. So, you know what I mean? I reached out to Boom Pig, you know what I mean? Like, the creator of Respect Life. He said, not at this time, you know what I mean? And I ain't mad at him, you feel me? Like, because not at this time. The door always open, you know what I mean? Whenever. I'll let me.
Okay, I noticed you used a lot of unsigned artists in your soundtrack for the web series. What motivated you to do that?
Jersey. You know what I mean? Everything about Mayhem is Jersey. You feel me? It's like, it ain't just Elizabeth, like it's Jersey, so, you know what I mean? We created a platform for unsigned artists to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, we got people in Japan watching us, Jamaica, like, name a country outside the United States, like they're watching us. We got 24 countries. These people may never hear these unsigned artists, and they good enough to be heard.
Who are some of the artists?
Who are some of the artists? Like, you know, some of them, believe it or not, is some cast members actually have songs throughout the series. You know what I mean? Mac Johnson, shout out to him. Shells Calhoun, shout out to him. Bond, shout out to him. Yo, the list goes on. Like, you know, we got ABU, got some music on there. You know what I mean? Of course, Crush Calhoun, like, he's like all over.
So tell me about the whole Fox 5, Lisa Evers, and how do you think that happened?
That was a shock to me. Like, believe it or not, that was a complete shock. I didn't know. I got a call from Money that played, and Money that played Money and Mayhem. Like, yo, we was just on the news. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. He like, nah, my brother just told me he's on the news, so I called his brother. Whatever. I don't believe his brother neither, so I called S. Like, yo, S. We was just on the news. He like, don't believe it. It's like, don't believe it. So, you know what I mean? Knowing S, like, S really got connections, so he called up some people. I'm not gonna say who. He hit me like, yo, he was really on the news. They spoke on this and that. So, you know what I mean? It was a good thing being on the news, you know what I mean? We got some good feedback from it, you know what I mean? Lisa Evers said Jersey strong. We like that.
Shout out Lisa Evers and Fox 5.
Shout out for that. Shout out Fox 5, all that.
One of my favorite, I'll say slogans, or we could say quotes for the web series was, "Where the bread?" That's my favorite one. Like, even when I'm out there, sometimes I catch myself saying, "Where the bread at?" And how did that come about?
The whole "Where the bread," like, there's a story behind that. We ain't even gonna get into it, you know what I mean? Long story short, you know what I mean? Salute Northeast, salute Madoff. Like, I'm giving both of y'all the copyrights to that, like, you know what I mean? But it came from them, like, you know what I mean? I believe Northeast said it one time in the episode, you know what I mean? Madoff was saying this to somebody on the internet or whatever, and then it just came, we branded it. You feel me? Like, that's ours. You know what I mean? Where the bread at? Like, you can incorporate where the bread at to anything.
Where the fuck is that bread at, nigga?
I got that work, man. Where the bread at?
Where the bread at?
Where the fucking bread at?
I'ma get it. I need mine now.
You know what I mean? I just did a selfie at work. You know what I mean? I was in a cool room. You know what I mean? Had my mask on. Took a picture. Where the bread at? You feel me? Like, you can incorporate it to anything. So it's a brand thing now.
So I know, I don't want to say it was a little, I don't want to say anybody was biting, but I know I seen something on the internet about another web series.
Hey, man.
Tell me about
Copy
that.
is the first form of flattering. You feel me? So I ain't mad. Salute. That's it. You feel me?
With the other web series, you feel like it's competition, or you feel like Mayhem can hold its own?
I clip Extendo right now. Like, I just was writing last night. Like, I scrapped what I already wrote. You feel me? Like, I scrapped it. I said, I don't want to do that. Like, even though it was like bang, bang, shoot 'em up, like right there.
Yeah.
Then I just scrapped all that, started writing again. You feel me? Like, yo, season 2 is something there. I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
If I'm scared of it, y'all have no idea what's coming.
What do you see in the future for Mayhem?
Future Mayhem? I don't know, man. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? I ain't really trying to look that far right now. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to focus on season 2, get it out to the people. You feel me? As long as the people want it, we're gonna keep coming. That's the future of Mayhem. You know what I mean? As long as y'all ask for it, we're gonna bring it to y'all, period.
Tell me, what gets Drizzy Dre motivated to write these epic episodes for Mayhem?
Man, believe it or not, man, real quick, season 1, like, I only wrote the first 3 episodes, believe it or not. Like, we freestyle from 4 to 14, which is 13.2 or whatever, but you know what I mean? I give them that all on the scene where we gonna.
So there's actually no writing.
Yeah, we hold that thing.
Whoa.
We straight Jay-Z from 4 to 13.2, straight Jay-Z.
Other web series step your game up. He's the whole right now.
Real rap. Like,
I'm co-signing that.
I'm Hove on the spot. Like, we just get to the scene. Like, don't get me wrong. I premeditate a few things what we gonna do, and then when we get to the scene, like, lines just come to me, everything comes to me, and I be like, look, do this, say this, and then I let them have free will with what they doing with it. You feel me? Like, I can't write and tell you exactly what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to be you. That's what separates us from them. Like, we don't look like we act at all.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And we just progress from episode 1 all the way to 14. Like, it's go. Like, we just go. I don't even want to write for season 2. Like, I told the cast, like, yo, let's just do what we do. You feel me? Like, let's just follow our storyline and go. Like, but they want the script, so I'm writing.
I know me personally too, and the fans. You know, my shorty might kill me, but them sex scenes and you steam.
Man,
Tell me about those.
We got some more. I just wrote like 3 last night. Like, we got some more. Like, you know what I mean? First, like, shout out to them for even doing it. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody getting paid for this thing. You feel me? Like, so they bare skin for it. You feel me? So we got more coming though. Like, I wrote some things. Like, I left a lot out. I was testing them season 1 to see how the crowd react. You know what I mean? How the people receive it. You feel me? They received it good. Like, cause we showed it in a good light. It wasn't that negative. Like, you know what I mean? We ain't X-rated. You know what I mean? We rated M. So, you know what I mean? We kept it clean, I believe.
What was the process, you know, you used to pick the certain roles for certain members of the cast?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Straight like this God's plan. This ain't mine. You feel me? I'm just doing what he's telling me to do. Like, I just feel everybody falling into place. You feel me? Like, I had like for instance, I could elaborate on it. Like, I had my man that was supposed to be Norky. You feel me? Like, and he the one that gave me that whole idea of how Norky really represented himself inside the home invasions. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he gave me that idea, like, yo, if you got the gun and you control the situation, ain't no need to kill nobody, ain't no need to be sloppy. You know what I mean? That's why you haven't seen Norky really put that thing on somebody, or even when he took his man to him on the first home invasion, his man shot him and he snapped on him outside the door. You feel me? Like, if you in control of the situation, ain't no need to get messy. You know what I mean? So, but I had somebody else from Norky scene. You feel me? Like, and whatever happened with him, you know what I mean? Shout out to Moon, Shiesty Poe, for real, you feel me? He had some tribulations he had to take care of, and then Norky popped up, like, you know what I mean? I already had the concept with the beard and all of that, and look at that big beard right there. Hey, no, come here, we holler at you for a second, you know what I mean? I screamed at him, he like, yo, bro, I'm with it. Like, let's do it. Whenever you're ready. You know what I mean? And he took off.
So could we expect different cast members in season 2, which I know is highly anticipated right now?
The whole Elizabeth went in.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then when the time is right, you know what I mean, the face is right and all of that, and it fit our storyline, I'm gonna bring them in. You feel me? Like, we add new characters every episode. Like, every episode is a new character there, you know what I mean? So, definitely new faces.
What's Drizzy's Dre top 5 casting?
My top 5 for Mayhem? My top 5 different than everybody. You feel me? Like, I read all the comments and everything. Like, they got Norky, Shells, all of them, like, you know what I mean? But my top 5 a little different than everybody. You know what I mean? Number 1, the cast, my whole cast. Like, that's my number 1 character of Mayhem, the whole cast. Like, shout out to them. Without them, we wouldn't be where we at. 2, gotta be the Bo. Like, yo, like, who don't like a dirty cop?
Got me. Why'd you put your hands on me? I'll put my hands on you. Would you rather me touch you with this? Oh, you is petty cop today.
Like, this guy's extra.
Shout out to Bo, great job.
I mean, shout out to the Bo, Ed Forbes, look him up, follow him, all that. Like, you know what I mean? My third gonna be Money. He's just funny. He bring a different dynamic to Mayhem. You feel me? Like, everybody too serious.
Man, I ain't going out there. If you blind, that nigga got a gun, man. I'm supposed to call Peyton, though, man. Yeah, call the cops, because I ain't going out there, bro. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got a gun, you sending me outside. I don't care, man. I care. I ain't going outside with that.
I mean, we running around killing, shooting people, so, I mean, Money bring that little comedy to it, so gotta go with Money. My 4th would be Goldie. Gotta go with Goldie. You know what I mean? She did something a little different in her last scene, like, I really liked her last scene. Like, did you see that scene?
All right, so you gonna do 30 years in jail.
If I have to fucking do 30 years, I'll do it, but I don't know shit.
She was willing to take 30 years. You feel me?
Great job. Great
Like she go like, and the funny thing about her, like she was supposed to die the first time we seen her. You feel me? But she was just on point with it. I said I can't kill her. Like we gotta keep her in here. So, you know what I mean? She 4, 5. I don't know, man. Help me with 5. Who you think should be in 5?
Me, I like SL. SL.
Talk about SL. You know what was funny? I had a whole nother web series written. It was called Annie Up. It was called Annie. It was about Robin and all this and this and that. You know what I mean? Something similar to what Norky do. He was supposed to have been a star in that. You know what I mean? S was supposed to come in like episode 3, but the time wasn't right. So we held him back. I think S came in like episode 6 or 7. That's good, man. He on the spot with it.
He killed the role. The coolness.
Hey, Tone, listen, bro. You already passed your time limit. And I like you. That's the only reason we talking now. But you got 48 hours, bro, to get me some names of who did this shit. 48 hours. Hey, Tone, listen, bro. Or your Thanksgiving table gonna be empty this shit, nigga.
He just killed it.
He did. Like, I believe everybody played their part. Like, so it's hard for me to just number them. You know what I mean? My top 5 changed. You feel me? Like, I just, like, the whole cast, Norky, like, it's not a time that we film and this guy don't do it in one take. I mean, when we did from the home invasion, that was a 1 take. From his second home invasion to his third home invasion, like, all 1 takes. Like, the argument with him and Moo, 1 take. Like, call him 1 take Norky.
What message do you have for all the haters, all the non-believers that didn't think Mayhem would turn out the way it did?
Hey man, first of all, shout y'all out for the views, you feel me? Like, not only the views, like y'all was talking about us and had other people watching, so, you know what I mean? Outside of that, like, I mean, ain't no need to hate on Mayhem or doubt us. Like, we showed y'all, we wrapped season 1 up. Like, season 1 is done and complete, 14 episodes, so if you still doubting us, you know what I mean? Stop doubting, season 2 on its way, you know what I mean? Doubting us, you might as well move out of Jersey. You feel me? Because we Jersey based and we gonna keep repping Jersey. And if you live in Elizabeth or Jersey and you're hating on Mayhem, you don't need to be here.
How did the city of Elizabeth accommodate you guys in shooting, you know, public scenes?
Hey man, first and foremost, shout out to Elizabeth Police Department, you know what I mean? Like, gotta think about it, like, we really out there looking like we really robbing, stealing, shooting, killing, all that. So it was something new for the city, you know what I mean? Especially for the police department, you know what I mean? People was calling them up, they was coming to the scene, you feel me? They didn't shut us down. They shut us down one time when we was by school. You know what I mean? Other than that, like, they been real good, like, to Mayhem, you feel me? Like, they even pulled up time. What y'all doing? Oh, we filming, officer. What y'all filming? Mayhem? Yeah. They pull up. What you know about Mayhem? Come on, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like they had to understand it first. You know what I mean? Of what we was doing. Then you gotta think about it. We not out here, you know what I mean, following city ordinance by getting permits and nothing like that. Like, we just shoot and go. You feel me? So people just calling, yo, somebody out with guns and this and that. So, you know what I mean? I feel, you know what I mean, the Elizabeth Police Department was great to Mayhem. Like, they didn't have letters. They could shut us down every time. You feel me? So, shout out to Elizabeth Police Department, man. You know what I mean? The whole city of Elizabeth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, big shout out Elizabeth, EPD, Mayor Chris Bowen, shout out to y'all for allowing Drizzy Dre to do what he do.
Now we need to do season 2.
Creator and director of Mayhem, Drizzy Dre. Thank you for checking in with Checkmate Magazine. I'm your host, Tri-State WW. See you next time.